Hello, everyone. Welcome to the principal's office. I am going to go ahead and tell you to like, subscribe, and share before I forget that. But today we want to talk about culture. Last time I spoke with you guys, I talked to you about hiring and having the administrators have someone from the grade level sit on the interview panels or actually do the interviews and making sure teachers and staff members that apply for jobs, making sure that they know that that's the place where they want to be. Okay. And the reason why I started with that conversation is because school culture is a huge foundation of a school. People will tell you school culture, it's all about the relationships that's built, it's all about the belief system of the school, it's all about the vision and the mission. And so administrators typically work on that, right? But the people have to buy into it. The people have to understand it. They have to hear it. And it's also about those rules that's not written, right? How a school operates sometimes is always not written down. It's just a traditional thing that currently happens. And in some places it can end up being a negative, and in some places it could be a positive. So every school should strive for the positive, obviously, but sometimes every now and then tinges of bad culture, or I should say negative things that impact the culture, occurs. So some of the things that I used to like to do when I was building lead was to get the feedback from the people. Yes, principals bite the bullet. There's some truth in some of the negativity, but there's the same way there's truth in positivity. And so when teachers feel comfortable to tell you the truth, it can kind of it works for everyone. So getting their input of what would be a perfect place for them to work, like what things do you need? I'm not telling you to try to buy people's happiness, because happiness also is a choice, but culture that's created with a staff in a building of like minded people can really be the foundation of your work. And I want you to take it one step further, asking the kids, right? In an imperfect place, what would they think a school should have? Now you're going to get some craziness depending on what grade level, right? Because somebody may say, we need a pony and pony rides." Obviously, that's not going to happen. But kids can actually also give you insight on what a school culture looks like. And so I had the opportunity to do two things. Tighten up on teacher leadership. And so within that teacher leadership, well, there was a lot of responsibility for myself, but also for the teachers, because I treated them as if they were leaders in the building. And so whatever culture issues, if there was any, we dealt with together. I may have had the vision and the mission of where I wanted the school to go, but I needed people to understand it, believe in it, and then add to it. And so I was very clear on what I needed, and they were very clear on what they needed to me. And so my job was really to move barriers so that we both can get somewhere that we needed to be. And some of the school culture things were traditional prior to me even getting there, or even prior to the last principal. And some of it was great, and then we kept it. And then some things were not so great, and we had to eliminate, some of the things that were not working for on our campus. And so one of the things that I added was the student leadership, and that student leadership gave me the opportunity to meet with kids from different grade levels and really kind of dive a little bit deeper into what it was that they wanted to see as a school. And so one of the cool things that we were able to do was we were able to bring chickens to the school. Yeah, elementary school with about 12 chickens. And so the cool thing about the chickens is it actually brought on a whole different perspective from the school for so many reasons. So many people wanted a hand in the chickens, and the culture around agriculture and the culture around learning how chickens, how they go from baby chicks to big chicks, and learning. We also end up having a rooster, learning how this rooster needed a certain amount of chicks to have on campus. But I say all of that because that was just one of the little things that we did to actually support student learning, but it also impacted the culture of the school because we all had something common, something that we all were taking care of. It didn't matter what grade level, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It had nothing to do with the everyday day in day out standards necessarily, but it was something that we were known for as a school, but it was something that we did together. And it was our belief system that we wanted to keep getting giving students opportunities to explore things outside of the textbook. And so we would bring in different ideas. But the culture of the school shifted when we brought the chickens in. The culture of the school shifted when we were sitting down with students and they were giving us an impact, their input on different things that was going to be impactful for them. And they saw how we were responding to them. And mind you, this was elementary school kids, but they were very brilliant and very smart. And then the staff was doing the same thing. They were bringing things to the table. They wanted more leadership opportunities. They wanted more professional development opportunities. And that actually shifts the culture, listening to them, responding. Okay, what would you like to learn? How would you like to learn it? Given the staff the opportunity and not giving them, we knew we needed professional development. But how did we want to go about it? Did we want to bring people in? Were we going to just demand that they took the basic district trainings? And then sometimes, maybe sometimes we took a trip or two to travel outside of the state, outside of the county. It was whoever or wherever had the trainings that we needed. And that impacted the culture. It was a culture of learning for everyone, for myself as the administrator, for the teachers, for the students. And so that collective culture of learning and growing, and exploring, was built in the building, and it made work fun. It actually did make it fun. We were able to go to different trainings and bring it back. We were able to talk about the chickens and then learn a little bit more about the chickens, and um, just different things can actually support your culture. But as a school, you need to actually have that collective bargaining. I charge all the administrators who are thinking about culture right now, because I know that you are. Think about how can you think outside of the box. Who else can you bring to the table to help support culture? I will say this, and I'll leave you on this thought. uh, Building a culture, a strong foundation in your building, is like building a house. You have two options. You cannot work on culture, and you can build that school up. And I'll tell you, if you build it on sand, it's going to crumble. But if you build the culture, and you're using concrete blocks, and you're given that great foundation of culture, and you continue to build on it, you'll build a better school. You'll build a strong school. And you won't be the only leader in the building, but they will respect you as the leader of the building. And so I charge you all to be, as you're recharging over the summer, to really think about that, and having hard conversations with yourself, and call in those more challenging employees to tell you the truth. So then, yeah, that way you can make the right decisions and the best decisions the way I know that you can. But just having hard conversation about yourself. Don't be in the dark about what you think the culture is, versus what the culture really is. And that is going to be a game changer for you. And talk to the kids. Kids are resilient. They will tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. And be okay with that. And definitely, if you are okay with a kid telling you the truth and you're not offended by it, don't be offended when an adult tells you the truth. Don't be offended by that as well. Um, okay, guys, like, share, subscribe. I'll come back with some more tips and just conversations. I hope you all are having a wonderful summer. But as you're thinking, think about that vision, mission, and belief system, and bringing it to the table, and calling in some of your students and staff members as you're thinking over the summer, when you're thinking about those themes and plans for coming back to school and how it's going to thread throughout the school year, uh, to be very impactful. And next time we'll talk about teachers and their culture in their classroom, and the reason why principals need to launch off the belief system in the right way, because it does impact the teacher's classroom. Thanks. Bye.